How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 9th of October 2021. I'm going to do a short, brief breakdown on Bitcoin for the weekend, kind of ascertain where price could be going next week. Before I get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's supported my content on Patreon. It really means a lot, guys. And I like the community we're building over there. It's a lot of funny chats. So with that said, if you like the content, obviously give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's try and break the YouTube algorithm, if that's even possible. I mean, that would be so funny. But anyway, with that said, Bitcoin has been really, really bullish of late. It is interesting that Bitcoin isn't affecting the rest of the market the way it used to. Yeah, this is something that I'm keeping a very close eye on because there's a lot of altcoins, a lot of shit coins, a lot of solid tokens, with solid fundamentals that just aren't following along. They're just kind of sat there, not really doing much. It's not all of them, but some of them. And generally when Bitcoin moves, the rest of the market should be moving with it. So something to keep an eye on, something I'm going to be tracking, and we'll see how we get on. So weekly wise, I mean, if you remember a while ago, I was talking about all of the liquidity building up below these lows here, and as price started to run up, and we kind of pulled back here, it's like a two-sided thing. It's either going to go down, revisit, and see some crazy numbers down here, or it was going to have a nice little rebound and start to rally to the upside, which is obviously what we've seen. So with this and kind of taking out this, getting through this key level here, if we drop down to the daily, we can kind of see what that means and what it looks like. It's interesting to see that Bitcoin during the two stages of the rally paused and held very, very strongly. The first one was here, so we get this nice pop, so it reverses completely and it holds for a while, and then it starts to grind up, rebalances, hits the liquidity and just goes straight through it. Basically didn't even bother. So we're going to take this off the chart. We're going to take this line off because that's the one that was effectively we needed to get past and start to hit in the sort of mid 50s. So we're kind of hovering around about sort of 54ish, 55ish, and it's holding really well, right? And we can see it's hit this level. It's maintaining this price level up here. We've tapped into this liquidity, Now, at this point, obviously, when you look to the downside, we have to factor the whole move in. When you look below, you can kind of see, areas where price may want to sort of drive to, maybe here or maybe here or maybe here, right? And you can mark out all the levels and say, right, this is liquidity, these are imbalances and everything else. But this is one of those occasions where we don't really need to do that because of the move itself. It's a nice, strong, drawn-out move. It's not aggressive. It's not insane. It's not, a massive, explosive move, with the feel of this is probably going to go parabolic type of move. It's just, it popped, it's a nice impulse, it held, then another nice impulse, and it's holding. So it's sentiment-based, it's, bullish, and there's quite a bit of momentum behind Bitcoin at the minute. The one thing that does concern me, and I don't think I've mentioned this, but I'll say it now. The one thing that does concern me with Bitcoin is the fact that it's not pulling the rest of the market with it. Yes, generally it does, and yes, generally a lot of coins are responding. Ethereum, for example, is doing well off the back of this Bitcoin movement, and some of the other tokens are as well. But there's quite a few that aren't, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. And this is why, like I said, I'm keeping a close eye on it. I want to see what's going on, but generally. It may very well be, the rest of the market's just kind of waiting to see if Bitcoin is going to follow through on this move. So going forward into this weekend, I think we're probably just going to stagnate a little bit, not really do much. If we do start to pull in a little bit on the weekly, I think we maintain the 50 plus, yeah, because we need to kind of get through this now. And the way that it kind of drives into and absorbs all of this liquidity up here will tell us whether or not it's going to keep going. With some serious magnitude or some decent momentum pushing price. But if it does pull in a little bit, I think this is enough of a move now, for us to be confident that Bitcoin's just going to continue and not worry too much about anything below. There's a lot of accumulation that happened here first, offloaded, come back. Look at the accumulation here. stayed down here for a very, very long time, accumulating in these lower levels, And to be fair, we were aware of this at the time. There was a lot of information, a lot of news coming out about banks accepting. You had some of these big players like JP Morgan and so on that were introducing, a cryptocurrency desk within their establishments. Obviously, Goldman Sachs was mentioned. We've got all of this stuff with the ETS being mentioned at the time, and so on and so on. And then obviously El Salvador and all of this news, and China trying to ban Bitcoin for the 500th millionth, for the 500 millionth time. So while all of this was going on, obviously, there's been a lot of accumulation down here in the 30s, with an average around about sort of 31, 32. And this is enough of a move away from that with a nice solid pullback as well, to maintain this upward momentum, I think. Sorry, excuse me. To maintain that upward momentum. So I think that's what we're going to continue to see. But there is some stuff to get through. So it's not just going to be a full clean break. You can see the first initial tap into this has responded a little, okay, which is a good indication that it's going to have to work through this level instead of just going straight through it. To visually see what I'm talking about, I can bring your attention to, where was it? Yeah, sorry, the level here that we had noted where you see price just went straight through that. It didn't even bother waiting, which means this is the pool that's in play. This is the one that is going to cause stop issue, that it's going to have to absorb and drive through, start to work through these, or through this, this level of liquidity. So the preceding moves are what tell you what's going to happen when it hits another liquidity pool. This move here told us that this level is going to be challenging for Bitcoin. So we'll see. We'll see how it kind of grinds through that. So going into the weekend, like I said, I expect a little bit of a slowdown. Maybe even a little bit of a pullback. I believe we're going to maintain the 50s now for quite some time. And I think before the end of the year, we're going to be pleasantly surprised. So with that said, I'm not going to go into CHSB today. I'll do that in a separate video. We're not really seeing much on CHSB at the minute anyway. But we may see, something in the coming days based on what's going on with this 25% safety net and so on. So we'll see how we get on with that. And as always, guys, I really hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend. We've got some great weather here in the UK for a change. And somebody actually said something to me a couple of days ago about my voice sounds like it could be on the radio. So if you think that's something that I should do, like start around, I'm just kidding, man. I'm winding you guys up. I'll chat to you soon. Take care.